It's Sunstreaker and Sideswipe.
Dusty Toys, hey you.
Welcome back to Dusty Toys. This one's supposed to be a bit of a short one, but we'll see how we go. What we've got in front of us is a model kit from the company Blokees, and they have in the last few years put out a series of mini Transformer kits that you put together yourself. This one, it's all in Chinese, but I think it's Series 6, and it is from this year. I did have one previously. If I bring him out real quick, I had a scrapper here. They're not very big, but lovely detail, lovely colours. So when I found the one I want to do today, I thought, let's have a go at that, and let's show the two viewers that watch these how Blokees are put together, in case anybody wants to know how to do it. If you have a look at the box here, if you turn it over, you do get an idea of some of the characters you can get. They don't transform, but you can see down the bottom there, you can get two versions of Swoop. There is a rare character you can get at the top here. He kind of looks a bit like Onslaught. I don't know who exactly it is, but there's an Optimus and a Megatron and a Wheeljack and a couple of other guys. But the one that we're doing today is up here in the top corner, Sunstreaker. And so when you open the bag, you can see there you get a few things. So you get the pieces there ready to go. You get a nice little card there. There's the reveal. Here he is. Woo, Sunstreaker. Looks pretty cool. The important one is this piece of paper, as I bang on the lighting. Good job, idiot. But this didn't come with my scrapper, so they may have done some quality control and added a better detailed instruction booklet, which is very, very cool. So you won't see this, but I'll have it beside me as I make it. But if you want to have pause the video, and then you can see what we'll be doing. But let's get the things out, and we'll make a start with the construction. And this is the two little packets that have been unpacked. One packet had all the smaller pieces, and the other packet had a couple of sets of hands. There's some fists there and some open hands. We can add those in when we're ready. There's a stand to put the figure on. Looks like there's some sort of weapon that comes with it, and some sort of silicon type thing. It says don't eat it, but that just sounds like a challenge, so we'll see what happens. You can see, if you look carefully and squint hard enough, I have organized it into little sections. Blokees are pretty repetitive in terms of the construction, like the legs are made the same way, the arms are made the same way. Even looking at Scrapper, it was constructed in the same method, so it shouldn't be too much different or difficult to get Sunstreaker looking pretty nifty by the end of it. Famous last words, I know. Watch it go up in flames now, but we'll see how we go. So let's make Sunstreaker the Blokees model. I'm going to start with some of the easy pieces first, because otherwise I'll be here forever. I'm going to start up here at the back. This is the pelvis area, and so you can see it's got some holes there, and pretty much you just match up the holes with the pegs, and it's the same on both sides. So turn it round, plug that in, and there's your pelvis ready to go. You can see it's got ball and a socket joint will be used later on, so we'll put that up the back there. And now let's do his torso. So we get the thing there, you can see where his arms are going to go. We've got a ball and socket connection here. This is where it gets a bit fiddly because there's a couple of little pegs that hang out here that you have to line up when you put the torso on. If it doesn't line up, then it's not going to go on properly. So you can see there it's pretty straight. His arms are going to go on there. See those little things there? That's what these things have to slide into. Otherwise, it's not going to go well. That looks like it's gone in okay. And then you get the back piece, and then slide that on. Nice little healthy click there, so looking alright. He's got a backpack, some pegs there, a couple of holes there. Got some pegs at the top so we know which direction it needs to go to, so that's handy. Put that up like that. Take the exhaust from his car mode. Like I said, it doesn't transform, but it still is a part of the well-known robot mode of Sunstreaker. And the last thing we add is this little thing here, which allows the head to be connected once that's on. So that's ready to go there. Alright, next up, let's do the feet. The feet are pretty much the same thing twice. So we have a foot there. We've got, this is a thigh piece here. We've got the two shin pieces. This is actually like a knee joint. It does bend. This one's very, very stiff though. But it does bend a little bit. Gives for some posability. We'll put him in some poses later. And another clear join there. And you'll see what happens once we get going. So take the foot and the clear thing, poke it in, and if you look at the instructions, it actually says turn it around the other way. That makes it much more sense. So turn it around. Does it click? I think it did before. There you go. There's a nice little click. So there's a click there. We get the shin part. Now it's got some details on it, which is nice, and it's got this little pointy bit at the top, and that will slide into that piece there. So you get that to slide in just like that, and that's good. And there's a hole there. Before we do that, let's get the knee joint. The knee will come around the back there and slide in. There it is. It doesn't click, but it's there, and once it's in, it holds pretty well. There is a click that helps. And then let's put the foot on, so give it a click. No, but that's just a very satisfying slide. You can see there already a little bit of ankle movement. And then we can take our thigh. There are two pieces that look very similar, but those are the arms. These ones here have the socket joint for the pelvis that we did earlier, so we just basically take the two things there. Nice little click there, and there's one leg. And now, hopefully with less drama, we do the same thing with the other foot. So push until you click. If it doesn't click the first time, that's okay. It does eventually click when you put it all together, kind of like Lego. This one here comes around. What have I done? Yeah. Helps if you try to do it while not looking through the camera. Try to do it while you're actually looking at the product. That probably helps. Let's put the knee in before we connect it all up. So once again, same thing. Slide it in. Listen for the there's the hole, there's the peg, in it goes. There we go. And then the thigh. And there's a nice click there. Yeah, had to just adjust the legs there. User fault, definitely not a product fault. So we've got legs, we've got torsos, we've got a pelvis. Let's do some arms next. Now, while I set up the arms, I'm going to get the feet right. No, they're okay. I'm not going to mess with those ones, but I'll take the hands off because we'll use the fist for this one. And let's do some arms. I'll do the face last because if it's anything like Scrapper, it'll be really fiddly and it'll take a lot of swearing. So let's do a couple of arms. Like I said, just like the legs, it's going to be the same thing twice, essentially. So I like to start with the forearms because you take this piece here, which is the elbow, and plug it into the hole there. There's that click that we want. There is this part here, which is the upper arm. I have the socket part pointing in. Click. There's some arm movement there. You can take a fist. This looks like it's going to be the right arm, so we'll do that ball joint into the hole there. There should be a nice click for that one too. And there it is. That's really good. There is one extra thing we can add to this, which are these two bits here, but let's make the other arm first and then we'll go from there. So once again, we take our... I'm a bit of a mong. I always have to bend it first to see which way it goes, otherwise I end up putting it in the wrong way. And then I look like a tool more than usual. So upper arm once again, there's the click, give it a test, there it is. The other hand goes in, there's the click. And then use the two arms. Looking pretty good. We could jump and do it all together, but I don't really want to do that. So let's get the shoulders and the fiddly face ready. Alright, let's keep going. Now, we've got lots of hand gestures. What we got here is Sunstreaker's shoulder accessories that get attached to the arm. So again, Blokees are so simple if you are coordinated, because this has got some pegs here and there's a couple little holes here, and all you literally do is slide in the pegs to the holes like that. That's pretty good. And then you can see there's a little groove there, and if you take an arm, there's the pegs on there, they just go into the groove like that, and you get that satisfying snap. And they do swivel slightly. I'm wondering if a lot of the other Blokees have the same thing, because Scrapper's got wheels that do the same. But that's now ready to be attached fully later. Let's do the same thing with this one. So there's the pegs, there's the holes, turn it around, don't get the satisfying snap with those ones, but that's okay. Then you take the arms, once again make sure it's on the outside, which would be like that if he's left-handed. Pegs into grooves, and there is a little snap. So far, so okay. I haven't totally messed it up yet. That's good. Let's do the fiddly face. Now, this blue part looks weird, but if you look there, that's actually his eyes. So when you hold up, is it going to focus? Doesn't need to focus, does it? But the eyes are gaps. There's a peg up there that goes into his forehead, and if it's done properly, which, like I said, fiddly, very, very fiddly. There. You can now see that the eyes are now blue, where they once were not. We can then take this part here, I believe, and this is the back of his head, so there's a hole there in the back of the head sculpt. Push that in. It's looking okay. That leaves a couple of peg holes here to match up with the front plate. So if we line that up, as I have so masterfully done this entire time, and that looks pretty good. Very nice. So the next part will be to put it all together. So let's do that. Let's do the legs first and see if we can get him to stand up. So let's call this one, like I said, look, they're basically the same. Can you tell the difference? Let's just call this one the right leg. So ball into socket, satisfying click. This one here, ball into socket, satisfying click. He can now stand up if he wishes. At this point, you can always kind of push down and see if it needs to click anymore. Doesn't need to, that's pretty good. Now this one here, just push on. It doesn't rotate, doesn't need to clip on or anything. It does rotate, you get a bit of articulation there, but it just pushes down satisfyingly. Now arm number 1, which this is the right arm, again, socket into ball. There we go, looking alright. Second arm, socket into arm. Those clicks make it much easier to know if you've done the right thing or not. And then the head should be, hopefully, if we've done it right. There's the click, and there he is. Looks pretty snazzy. I do like him. We can give him his pew. Facebook and YouTube sometimes don't like the G word when it comes to weapons, but we can give it to him. Looks alright. Take it off for now, but there he is. There's Sunstreaker. He does have some holes in his feet that you can clip him into his stand. That's pretty good. Does he come off? There we go. Got some ankle tilt. He's got a knee bend. He's got hip bend. He's got a hand swivel. He's got an elbow. He's got a shoulder. This is a ball joint, but he doesn't really have much movement in his head. He can look left and right, but I don't know if you can see that helmet was coming off, so I might have to fix it up later. But looking pretty good. So there's Sunstreaker, the Blokie, standing up, leaning back to look at you, and balancing okay. How nice is that? Cool. Hope that looked okay. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Tossed toys, hey